Hi, my name is Mike Schnee.
And I'm Steve Schnee, and you're watching That's What Schnee Said.
Schnee said.
Oh, I forgot that part.
I think it's time we knocked it right in the head. That's what Schnee said. Not recorded in front of a live audience.
That's a great song. It still holds up after 3 seasons.
Is this the 3rd season or the 4th season?
Hold on. I just got a text from Teresa that said, "You are both idiots."
Let me sort of tell everybody what's going to go on in this season. We are going to be discussing things that happened when we were 10 years old. Now, my brother and I are 11 months apart. He was born November 16th, 1962. I was born October 13th, 1963. Through a lot of our adult lives, I would make jokes to my sister, and I always tell her she was the accident because she was born 6 years after I was. So, what does that sort of tell you? But guess what? Probably, maybe 5 years after me constantly joking about that, my parents both told me, "Stephen, you were born 11 months after your brother. Who's the accident?" So we're going to discuss things that were going on, pop culture-wise, when we were both 10 years old, from that period, October to November of 1973, correct?
Right. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about comes from the calendar section, the LA Times calendar section, Sunday calendar section, which was the biggest thing. I don't think at the time I was that into it, but a lot of it does look familiar, so I think I was totally into that.
I remember reading, what was it in the Orange County Register? There was the, apart from the comic section and the mini page, remember the Orange County Register? Yeah, mini page. Yeah. I know the LA Times was the calendar, which is what we're talking about. That was always, it was always just like, I don't think that we were able to take that out until after Dad looked at the paper.
I found things that were, that I didn't realize happened when we were 10 years old, and also things that we didn't care about back then, but nowadays we did, like releases of, or like groups that we're into now that were playing, in the area.
Yeah. You know what I remember, and I don't remember what year it was, but I remember, what was the venue? It must have been on Harbor, maybe in Chapman. I think there was some kind of, but it was a club that Willie Aames and Paradise played at.
Was it like the Rendezvous or something like that? Well, so I take it he named his band after the movie that he was in. It was a wonderful movie with Phoebe Cates and Willie Aames. Wonderful movie, and it came out after Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, okay.
And then at the end had Phoebe Cates singing the theme song. A wonderful, wonderful picture.
Anything Phoebe Cates is in back then is wonderful.
Plus, I think we got to see Willie Aames' wiener.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
I never saw the movie.
I did.
You saw what, on the big screen or on TV or VHS?
On the big screen. No, big screen.
You had to go watch on the big screen to see Willie Aames' wiener.
Yeah.
What's up first in the calendar?
Let's see. Found like the first Sunday calendar section. I think it was the day after your birthday.
So my birthday in 1973 was on a Saturday?
You're pretty good with math. The cover story, October 14th, 1973, was Neil Diamond, an explosion that became Diamond's Seagull score. It was like a story on him doing Jonathan Livingston Seagull, yeah. And
wow.
At the time, yeah, we were into Neil Diamond, but I don't think I remember reading this at the time.
I don't remember reading it, but I remember him doing the soundtrack. I remember reading or hearing a lot about it before it came out. But apart from the song B, I have no recollection of that album whatsoever.
The only stuff only stuff I know was the stuff he did from the Love of the Greek album.
Yeah, I'm sure that the album's good. I don't think I just know. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I forgot about it until right now.
Also, but around the time, the cover of the TV Times cover was Lee Majors. He's ABC's $6 Million Man, so it must have been just premiering.
I remember watching the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And the pilot episode, the theme song, I believe, was sung by Dusty Springfield. Like, he's the man, $6 million man, or something. That was never used after that pilot. But I remember just knowing it was Springfield. So when Rick Springfield came along a few years later, I was thinking, is that the guy that did the $6 million man thing? I don't think that I've heard that theme since that, but I remember it being the theme song to the ABC special. Or
Really?
ABC? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was like a movie of the week, right?
Yeah.
We were into it.
Yeah, totally into it. In fact, I even had the Steve Austin doll, where it had the hole in the back of the head where you can look at the head and see what he was.
Oh.
Yeah, but it didn't come with that noise. I remember, maybe 10, 15 years ago, seeing a repeat of the final season. And it's the final season of the $6 Million Man because Lee Majors had a mustache. That's like the jump the shark moment when Lee Majors had a mustache.
Well, there's a bunch of jump the shark. There's the mustache for a character.
Uh-huh.
There is a new baby.
Yeah.
Like to a family. And if something is set in the past, it's all of a sudden they have modern hairdos instead of like Happy Days. Like they just kind of like evolved in these modern hairdos as opposed to sticking with their 50s hairdos.
Yeah, like the first season of Happy Days, they all had like slick back hair or whatever. By the time it was like super popular, the stars were probably all going, I don't want my hair greased. So it's 1958 and Potsy has 1974 due.
Yeah.
Oh,
another jump the shark moment on Happy Days. I'll never forget this. There was a season where they all go to Hollywood, right? And Fonzie is surfing, right? Never mind.
But that $6 Million Man, I remember the episode with the stash. At that age, when I was 14, 15 or whatever, I wasn't rebelling against the man. I was rebelling against the man with the mustache. So like any band that had a mustache, but I remember there was a scene where he picked up a clipboard, or he was putting down a clipboard or whatever, but he was trying to make like it was like made of like super heavy metal. I mean, not the musical style, but like a really heavy metal. And he was making it heavy to make the other person think that maybe they were losing their strength, or like, gosh, I better see a doctor or whatever. So I remember, the guy trying to pick it up goes, oh my gosh, I better sit down. And like Steve Austin or Lee Majors with a stash, Stash Austin grabbed the clipboard and picked up the clipboard, and it did that noise. And I thought, okay, that's kind of where I draw the line. That's when everything he does turns into a noise. That's it for this episode of That's What Schnee Said. Thanks for watching.
You're an idiot.
I think it's time we knocked it right in the head. That's what Schnee said. Not recorded in front of a live audience.